Okay, second our second program of the day. The news came down about Coach Thompson afterwards, and he deserved a lot of more time than an episode of Your Morning Cup could have gave Coach. So as we know, Coach Thompson passed away this morning in a country, in in a city in Spain, or last night, overnight. No, it was this morning. Yeah, this morning, August 31st. Before we get into Coach Thompson, I just want to send a rest in peace shout out to Ms Faye from a great woman that we grew up with in Coney Island, mom of Shimon, Sheldon, Andy, and Sean. I don't have to. From 31st Street, West 31st Street, Miss Dempster, beautiful woman, great lady. Always kind. Always made the kids feel comfortable. She's just a wonderful woman. I see her on my travels at work when she worked in nursing homes as an LPN or what have you. Just a wonderful, kind woman. I just want to send my condolences to the Dempster family. My brother Daniel just told me about it this morning. I went to go wish him happy birthday, and he told me the news. I didn't know. When you're not on Facebook, so you don't see these posts because you don't want to see all this negative political stuff and all this other stuff, and then you miss out on stuff like this. And I totally didn't know she was gone for over a week now. So rest in peace, Ms Faye. Okay, back to Mr. Thompson, the great John Thompson. Coach Thompson, legendary coach at Georgetown University. He was born September 4th, 1941 in Washington, D.C. to Mr. John Thompson the first and his wife, Mrs. Thompson. He went to Archbishop Carroll High School, and he led the Lions to a 24-0 record in 1960 and a tournament championship victory against the Knights of Columbus rather. After that, he went to Providence College, where he became the all-time leading scorer, and he won an NIT there in 1963. 1964, he was an All-American at Providence. Standing at an imposing 6'10", 275 pounds, the big man out of Providence was drafted by the legendary Red Auerbach, Bill Russell, Bob Cousy Celtics in the middle of their championship run. And he was placed right behind Bill Russell in the backup center position where he was Bill Russell's caddy, and that was his nickname. He was nicknamed the caddy, and he held down Bill Russell for 2 seasons, and he was part of 2 championships there. And he's abruptly retired a year after that, 1966, I believe, to pursue his coaching career. Okay. After that, he went back to D.C. to coach at St. Anthony's High School in D.C. Between a year of 1966 and 1972. Coach Thompson led the St. Anthony team to a 122-78 record over 6 years. After that, he went on to get the job at Georgetown University in 1972. Georgetown was coming off a 3-23 season, and Coach Thompson got the gig there, and it was his job to turn it around. And turn it around quickly, he did. He turned it around in 3 years. They started going to NCAA, making the NCAA tournament appearances, and that led on to his legendary run, where he would go on to coach 3 Final Four teams, a national championship in 1984 with Pat Ewing. If he wasn't upset by Massimino in 85, they would have had 2. They lost to Dean Smith and Jordan in 82 off the Jordan shot, but they've been in 3 Final Fours. He coached so many players. And when you talk about John Thompson, as far as me and my peers go, a lot of the guys, I went to high school and middle school, junior high school will attest to this. Man, the Big East was everything. It didn't matter. Everyone liked someone in the Big East, It was Georgetown and Coach Thompson and the Hoya Destroyer. That's what they were called, the Hoya Destroyers. They had that swag to them. And a lot of the young guys in the neighborhood, they were attracted to that kind of team, that black basketball team that Thompson represented. And even past that, the Big East was just huge. The Big East represented everybody, like everyone. It didn't matter. You had a team in the Big East. Boston College was there. You had Syracuse with Boeheim, Jimmy Calhoun in Connecticut, Lou Carnesecca, the sweater in St. John's with Chris Mullin and those guys. What am I missing? Pitt, the Pitt Panthers, of course. Oh man, Providence, the Friars. The list goes on and on. The Big East was the Big East Seton Hall, with PJ. So, when we watched in the 90s, man, it was just Coach always had the towel on his shoulder. He was wiping his face because he was screaming at people. But, it always looked like he was mad and he was yelling at people. But he couldn't have been that mad or hurt anyone's feelings because they loved to play for him, man, and they won for him. Those players, so, like I said, he would go on to win Coach of the Year 7 times in the Big East. He went on to coach Patrick Ewing, the great Allen Iverson, who both went on to be number 1 picks in the NBA draft in the 1985 and the 1996 draft, respectively. He coached Sleepy Floyd, solid quality point guard league in the NBA. He coached Othello Harrington, who had a nice college career, and he had a solid pro career. Of course, Alonzo Mourning. Who else? Oh, of course, Mutombo, the Finger. These guys all lottery picks. And Coach Thompson brought them David Wingate, Reggie Lewis. Was it Reggie Lewis or was it Reggie Williams? Reggie Williams. Reggie Lewis played for him? No, Reggie Lewis went to school in Northeastern, I think, or Boston or something. He went up there. But Reggie Williams. And Coach Thompson. He here is Allen Iverson on Coach Thompson. Well, you gonna talk? Yeah, well, here we go. My bad, yeah. My bad. Hit the volume up for Bubba Chuck. There we go. Sorry. Sorry about that. Get my shit together.
Saving my life. For giving me the opportunity. I was recruited by every school in the country for football and basketball. And an incident happened in high school and all that was taken away. No other teams, no other schools were recruiting me anymore. My mom went to Georgetown and begged him to give me a chance. And he did.
Coach Thompson, man. There you go, Coach Thompson. As a Boston Celtic. When Allen Iverson was talking about what the incident was, for those that don't know, Allen Iverson, after he was highly recruited, like he said, by every team by every school in the country, but he had a bowling alley incident. It was a racial incident where it was a group of white kids and black kids fighting. Next thing you know, it was caught on videotape. It was racially instigated situation where slurs and epithets were hurled. Allen Iverson was there. He probably took the brunt of the punishment there. They said he was throwing chairs. A lot of the stuff, when you look at the video, it was a melee. It was chaotic. But long story short, in the state of Virginia, next thing you know, in the melee, they gave Allen Iverson 15 years in prison. Trumped up charges for a young 18-year-old, 17-year-old. They're ready to end his career and his future with just over a bowling alley fight. Once again, the racial disparity in America was in full effect when it came to Allen Iverson, the story of Bubba Chuck from Newport News, and Coach Thompson saved him. Coach Thompson said, "I'm gonna deal with him. I'm gonna do it. He probably, AI was not easy. He was mischievous, a little badass, but he wanted to play ball, and he saved his life, and it was worth it. The man has become an icon, and that was thanks to Coach Thompson. You know, so um Patrick Ewing, great Patrick Ewing. You know, he's the coach of Georgetown now. Coach Patrick Ewing coaches Georgetown University. So it's gone full circle. Big man passed it over to the big man. After his son John Thompson Jr. had a little run at it. There's coach with Allen Iverson, the big man, one of his star pupils. You know, the big guy. There he's with Patrick again. Hell of a career. Balking on AI. But, you know, we're going to talk about this story right here, though. The story with Rayful Edmonds. Rayful Edmonds, a notorious DC kingpin, crack kingpin. You know, he had a murderous crew, notorious, you know, all that stuff that came with being a drug lord came with the Rayful Edmonds empire and came with Rayful. Well, Rayful liked the NBA and he liked Georgetown. He liked basketball and he was cool with a player named John Turner and Alonzo Mourning. And they were coming to his parties and stuff like that. And Coach Thompson found out about it. He didn't like it. Thompson invited Rayful Edmonds to his office, and they spoke on it. And he told him, you know, he didn't want his guys around him, especially those two guys. And Rayful assured Coach Thompson that his guys weren't into anything illegal, and he had nothing to worry about as far as his players were concerned. That answer wasn't good enough for Coach Thompson, and he went on to a explicit tirade. And he cursed out Rayful, and Rayful, like a guy you can just curse out, he took in his stride, and he said, all right, you got it, Coach. And he left Coach's players alone. That's what the legend says. Let him up, stay away, said never saw you a Georgetown player again. Soon after, you sent his life without parole. That's how it went down, Durant said. Everybody remembers the day Rayful went to Coach's office. Coach Thompson, man. I've heard the story before, you know. I heard the story before. Coach, after his career was over, he went on to, I believe Coach retired in 1999, was it, or 2000? One of them. But after Coach's career was over, he went into broadcasting, you know. He did his thing in the NCAA, worked for Clear Channel. Another story about Coach Thompson a lot of people don't know. Coach Thompson has a ticket for the flight that was going to go fly into D.C., I believe, on September 11, 2001. And for whatever reason, the flight got changed. He had to get off the plane. But that is, a lot of people say they were in the building and they left. They were going to get on the plane, their mom. There's proof of that. Coach Thompson was supposed to be on that plane. You know, there's guys who will co-sign that, and I believe there's some actual receipt for that floating around that net. What else can I say about the coach, man? Legendary coach, man. Mutombo, like I said, Otella, even did he coach Michael Sweetney, bum ass Michael Sweetney? I just want to take a shot at Michael Sweetney, the Georgetown fat boy that the Knicks drafted in the Dwayne Wade draft. He went 2 picks after Wade. He went to Georgetown too. But anyway, don't worry about that. Forget about that. We'll stop worrying about that. So now, we're just gonna send them off. You know, they say they go in 3, and as far as I'm concerned, Chad Boseman, Uncle Spliffy Robinson, Connecticut, Portland Trailblazers standout. He was young, 53, and so was Chad, of course, and of course now Coach Thompson, dead at 78. All right, rest in peace, Coach. Rest in peace, Ms. Dempster, as well. Everybody, thank you. This is definitely a standard. You know, we're gonna pay homage, a little obituary for Coach. Rest in peace, Coach Thompson. See you guys later. If I got anything, I'm gonna do another one today. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow on Your Morning Coffee. Talk to you guys later. Peace.